Gordon, I got another question for you today is how to play the healing frequency, how to play the healing instruments. Actually, it's two different things. Yes, how to play healing instruments.
Right, so there's an incredibly simple answer to this question.
Yes.
And that is to say, the most important thing to do is to play
Come to our training.
The most important thing to do, and the most tricky thing to do for somebody who's starting out in this field is to play it well.
It's very difficult.
How do you play one of these instruments well?
People always think that they play very well because they're doing very hard to play well.
The thing is, this brings out lots of issues, but the basic one is that there's what we can call a very low barrier to entry.
Everybody can pick up a bash.
Everybody can pick up a singing bowl or a gong and as you say, strike it and get a sound out of it. And the sound, it's a healing sound. So I must be a sound healer and I must be healing you because I've just played or struck or
Can we review a bit? What's the healing frequency? Although we have a video before, but what's the healing frequency?
The healing frequency is what the sound practitioner thinks it is. This is really important. I said in the last associated video with this that the think bit of your original question is the most important word because it's the intention that goes with it. Yes. So just to reiterate, if a sound practitioner believes or thinks or sets an intention around a particular instrument which has a dominant frequency, a resonant frequency of whatever the frequency is, and they believe that this is particularly here we are. Yeah, here we are. Here's my pretend instrument. Then that's what the thinking of it is. Is an essential part of the equation. The equation. Now, let me have my favourite equation, which comes from. And I always plug this book to our students, our first-time students, our beginner students, which is which is, I think in English it's still in print, it's called The Seven Secrets of Sound Healing by Jonathan Goldman, a noted American sound healer and sound therapist and a writer in this field, very much a pioneer. It's the other good thing, Chinese speaking viewers.
We have Chinese.
It's translated into Chinese. The good thing about this book is that it's written in very simple terms. It's talking about very complex and abstract issues in very simple terms that are easy to understand.
What's your point?
So one of the most famous things about Goldman's book, Intro to Sound Healing, is that he comes up with this wonderful simple frequency plus intent equals healing. So Goldman has this really fascinating chapter in the book where he's talking about 2 or 3 or even more sound practitioners who are using who they believe different resonant frequencies of the instruments they're using have the same effect. Say I can't remember what it's about, but say it's a heart condition, and one researcher A thinks this instrument with this resonant frequency has the healing effect. Researcher B, a different instrument with a different resonant frequency has the same effect, and researcher C, and so on. And Goldman's thinking, well, they can't all be right. There's all different frequencies, but they're all having supposedly healing frequency, having the same effect. In a flash of inspiration, he thought they were all correct. He realized that they were all right. Because they each believed, they each thought, they each intended their chosen instrument to be healing.
Yes.
So they're all right, and so the intention was the missing ingredient, the vital ingredient that made the whole therapeutic session work.
Oh yes.
That's the whole point.
Yes.
What's what?
Yeah. What's the missing point?
Intention.
Yeah. Okay.
So they were all correct. So this is the most important thing. So that's
I got a question because I always tell students if I intention very good. Oh, I want to save the world. I want to heal the world. But when they play the instrument, bang, 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 heal the world, love people, yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Okay. So
I got very good intention.
Okay, so with beginners, we've got to tie these things together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah.
Disparate things that are sometimes difficult to get together. We're talking here about. What do we mean by playing well? Well, there's certain basic
intention
techniques.
First and play well.
We've got to undertake certain basic techniques allied to working on intention. This is something that we can also practice through meditation and so on. And then acting as a good channel between the instrument we're playing and the person or people we're playing to, before we can jump out and expand out to the whole globe and the whole universe. That can be more of a challenge and another step up. But combining those things together,
yes,
like this, healing,
yes,
right,
like this,
is really important, and practically that's what beginners find often quite challenging.
Oh, yeah.
And what people who populate these social media columns when they're arguing about what's a good healing frequency and what isn't a good healing frequency, forget these elements. They're not taking into account.
I make it simple. Even there's a very good instrument, like very good singing bowl. This is 528 hertz. But when the person play, he didn't put the healing intention that I want to, help people to heal their body. Or they play very terribly. Even that instrument very good, but
exactly so. So there's another element of this that I want to bring into it, because it's another element that's left out very often out of these discussions, which is intervals between two instruments.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about intervals. Now in the last video we played 2 chimes with supposed healing.
528 and 432 hertz.
Now the thing that interests me about these two is not whether or not these 2 particular frequencies are healing or not. It's the interval between them and the entrainment between them. The sound, when the 2 sounds join together, what happens? Well, we get a multitude of harmonics, which I'm sorry, but I'm not sure that I think a supercomputer could work out the maths, but a sound practitioner couldn't do in their head when they're playing them. But when we use more than one instrument and they train with each other, then that can create very, very powerful healing effects.
Okay, so if you are interested about sound healing, how sound can heal or the healing frequency, we offer you 2 things. One is you can come to our Gong training. And of course, we got other instruments, not only Gong. Second is you are fancy about sound healing, you can check the QR code here that we have every month. We have new sound therapy, Gong Bass, online Gong Bass video update to you. So we see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.